Peace, everyone. Yeah, dream time again. Dreams, man. Such a weird phenomenon, isn't it? Most times, often than not, when you're dreaming, you've got to catch it. You got to like jot it down really quickly, because before you know it, it's gone. You forgot all about it, or just fragments remain. Most of the time, it's a strange one. For saying how much madness occurs in the dream, you'd think that it'd like stick out in your mind all day. But most times, often than not, it doesn't. I'm speaking for me now, but I'm pretty sure it's much the same case for everybody. But then, on the flip side, some dreams last for years. Some dreams that I've had in my childhood are so vivid, I can remember them like it was last night, you know. So, take for instance now, this morning, all right, I thought to myself, right, I'll remember this one. Now I'll put it in my dream journal on YouTube. But then it was like vast sways of it, like just being rubbed out my memory banks. I was like, how can I just forget about it just like that? It's crazy. So I was trying to like piece it back together and going over the same little smidgen that I remembered over and over again to see if it like pull bits back out of the subconscious, man. But today, yeah, I wasn't having none of it. Basically, my subconscious was saying, nah, we're keeping this one, mate. So I'll tell you a little bit about the bit that I did remember, right? All of a sudden, I was in this like big warehouse, like a Amazon warehouse. And this dude that I used to knock about at school with, ain't seen him in about 30 odd years. I seen him like walking up from like 50 meters away, down the other end of like the warehouse, like. But it was like his presence was so familiar. I was like, oh, there's such and such. I forgot his name now, but I did remember his name in a dream, funny enough, but now it's gone. But this is the other mad thing about it. I knew in the dream it wasn't his name in real life. So that should have triggered a response right there and then that I was dreaming. Sorry, I'm watching a basketball. In my consciousness, to like basically make me look around in my dream to notice that I'm actually dreaming. Because the goal is, the more and more I do this, to get a lucid dream. Meaning that I'm aware now that I'm conscious in my dream and not an automaton just acting out mindlessly this dream character within the dream. Anyway, sorry, he's coming over to me and I'm like, oh, you're right, such and such. And he's like, yeah. And I can vaguely remember he was carrying some sort of like tool case or something like that with equipment in it that I needed for something. And I was like, thankful for him for bringing it over to me. I'm like, oh, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, no, I need that for whatever it was that I was doing in the factory. I ain't got a clue what the hell was going on. And I was like, he's like, yeah, no worries, mate, no worries. And like he was, went on his way, like. So like I looked around and all that. I can't remember what was cracking off in the factory. I can remember though that the tools was something strange that my mind made up, because I had a little inkling that these weren't ordinary tools. It was some like weird looking stuff. Like something like them little toy tools that children have. You know what I mean? But in my mind, it was like real type tools in my head, in my dream mind. So I was like, yeah. Now I can get this job done now. And then all of a sudden, you know how the landscape's very fluid in a dream. I was all of a sudden now what I can remember. I'm driving down a motorway, and it's like a big, like 5 or 6 lane, like a freeway, big freeway in America type thing. And there were like loads of turning offs going here, there, and everywhere, like some big spaghetti junction type thing. And then, without me turning off, I was all of a sudden in this like council estate. So like it was from like a big Americanized like freeway to like a British council estate type thing, where again in the real world it doesn't exist, but in my dream world I was like, I frequented it a lot type thing, so it was familiar to me. In my dream, it's crazy. Dreams are crazy. And I was in the car and I was waiting for something. And then I can't remember anything else, but I know that the dream was longer than this because it went off to something else. And while I was talking, I was hoping that I could recollect a little bit more, but I can't. So yeah, those are the fragments that I've got from the dream this morning. So hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to remember more of my dream from what I'm going to have tonight type thing. But yeah, dreams are so real, aren't they? So real. All your senses are there. More so. They're more intense. And you can do more stuff. You're freer, aren't you? You know what I mean? It's like, what's the real realm then, really? Because we're constricted here. We can't fly here just by just thinking it and you float off the ground, but you can in a dream. You're like Superman, aren't you? But anyway, yeah, fascinating stuff. I remember one dream I used to have over and over again when I was a kid. See, I can't remember last night, but I can remember 40 odd years ago from my childhood though. It's one dream I used to have all the time. I was walking in the park, just turning from side to side, looking at the scenery. And then I used to get this like anxiousness, like I could feel a presence like close to me type thing. And every single time I turned around, and it was like these little like strange goblin looking characters that always used to like chase me. I used to be scared witless. So I used to run. And it was always like the same looking characters, the same setting. And then like I'd get to like towards like an outhouse type thing, like you see on like farmland near farmers' houses, and they have like a shed made out of brick or whatever, you know, over that bit, and another outhouse or guest house or whatever, you know. So there was like it was like a derelict guest house, you could say. And I'd always used to get close to it. And I always used to remember as well, every time I used to get close to it, the scenery would kind of like meld into like a meadow type thing on farmland with my old town centre, how it used to look back in the 70s. them one of them weird ones, a weird amalgamation of scenery. And then it just used to stop. And he did that over and over again. Sometimes you just have it nightly. So this must have gone on for a good few years. Honest to God. I'd have the same dream every so often, over and over again. And then it came to the point one night where it started off as normal, I'm looking around, same settings, and then I realised what scenario I'm in, and then I'm like, oh God, not this again. Because it was terrifying for me at the time, the whole setup of it and the feeling that it gave me and stuff. And I was like, oh God, I've got to do this again. So long story short, this time, my mum was with me. And I was like, oh, I got my mum with me. Why is my mum with me this time? And then I looked over my shoulder. All the goblins and that started to chase us again. My mum was anxious as well. She's like, climb on my back. We'll try and get out of here. So I'm on my mum's back. And she's running with me as fast as I can. Well, as fast as she can. Then she gets tired, then I get off, and then I'm running with her. And we go into this outhouse, and we board up the doorway and the windows, because there's no glass in there and all of that. And we go towards the back of the back wall, and we're just waiting because we know eventually whatever's outside is going to break through. And this time there's some bigger banging, there's some bigger monsters outside. So now it's even scarier. And I'm like, oh my God, what's happening now? And I'm looking at my mum. My mum was anxious and this, that and the other. And I remember the feeling that I thought to myself, I'm not letting nothing happen to my mum. I'm not letting nothing happen to her. We're gonna go out fighting. It's my little childhood mind now. Got to protect my mum. Because I didn't like the way my mum was looking all anxious and frightened and stuff. So I had to be my mum's protector. So I started to grimace with my little self. And I'm like, okay. I goes, don't worry, Mum, I'll save you. And my mum's looked over, and your mother looks over and gives you that motherly smile that just melts your heart, doesn't it? And I was ever so proud. So that gave me an extra boost. I was like, right, whatever's outside is going to get it. So all of the boarding now starts to break through, or you see these big horrible monster hands coming through, punching through. And I was like, there's two Frankenstein looking figures. One was the normal looking Frankenstein, with a flat head, dark hair. And there was a blonde haired one. They were twin, Frankenstein brothers. Ever so strange. So everything started to break through. And then I jump in now, swinging, my mum's jumping in. She's grabbing stuff, throwing it over. And the more we fight, the stronger we start to get. And the easier it is now to throw all of these little goblins and whatever it was, demons coming at us off. Because it was it's like a scene out of a zombie movie where there's hundreds of them climbing over each other to come and get you, type thing. So we start fighting them off, and we see that we're starting to win. And then these big monsters now, we're thumping up the monsters and all of that. You can see the fear in their eyes. Everything starts to change. And when that happens now, all the little ones start to scatter. And these two big ones, the two Frankenstein ones, they stop. I mean, my mum look at each other what's going on here? And then all of a sudden they say, oh, we're sorry. We're sorry we caused you so much distress. And we were like, well, why did you do it in the first place? What was the point in it? And he just, was like shrugging the shoulders and all of that. And I was saying, we're sorry, can we take you back? And they were very remorseful about it. It's ever so weird. And they offered to give us a piggyback each back to where the hell we were going in the dream, I don't know. So I got on one back, my mum got on the other back. And he started to talk to us like we were the best of friends type thing. So it was like a happy ending to the nightmare story. And then I never had that dream again. That was the end of it. So obviously I conquered some inner demonic force, I suppose, that was troubling me, whatever it was. You see how it goes? Some dreams, forget them as soon as you have them. Other dreams stay with you through the rest of your life. So yeah, there we go. I thought I'd fill up a little bit more time because I couldn't remember this morning's. So there you go. So until the next one, the next dream time. Peace.